What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today it is going to be once again a very late update, so I do apologize for it. We are still looking for apartments, so every single minute of my day is done, is pretty much walking around all that situation. So if anybody knows what it's like trying to struggle to find an apartment 1 month before moving, you understand my struggle. So I want to thank you guys for understanding that and supporting me through this. Of course, if you guys want to continue supporting me, there's a lot of links down in the description, so continue doing that. And of course, like, comment, subscribe. But today we are going to be rocking with a new one. This is going to be a new one. I want to give something different. It's Pro Football Network. So I want to give them a quick little shout out. I know that I'm going to be doing a live mock on Walk the Mock next Saturday. So you guys should be seeing that one because I believe Goat House will be streaming it along with a couple other pretty big YouTubers. So it's going to be really fun. I hope you guys do enjoy that one. So let's start off and let's just kick into this because it's a 3-rounder. So let's just rock through it. With the number 1 pick, we got the Jaguars going Trevor Lawrence. We don't need to talk about it. For the sake of time, let's not talk about it. It's a great pick. Jets going Zach Wilson. Again, another guarantee pretty much at this point. We could see potentially a guy like Justin Fields randomly surprised because a lot of people have him as their number 2. Still don't think so. The Eagles traded out because they didn't think Zach was going to be a 3. So I think that's a foregone conclusion as well. The Niners going Trey Lance. I'm so happy it's not Mac Jones. My respect for PFN, boom, just shot up exponentially. By the way, I haven't looked at this one yet. So we're seeing this live reaction because that's what I do for you. I mean, I'm fine with it. Obviously, if Shanahan thinks that Trey Lance is the guy for the future, I'm going to trust him on that. They gave up a lot for a reason. I still think it's going to be Justin Fields. I mean, after you saw what he did against Clemson, it's like that's the type of guy who could be a real MVP in that locker room. So, I mean, honestly, as long as it's Trey Lance or Justin Fields, I'll be pretty happy with it. Number 4, the Falcons go Kyle Pitts. Honestly, I'm not mad about it at all. I think that they could get a pretty good haul if they do trade back, but then again, they're really kind of shooting themselves in the foot by being able to get the best type of players on the board. So it's a big gamble that you're having to take if you're Atlanta trying to move back versus getting potentially the best tight end we've ever seen. So it's up in the air, but we might want to say that Kyle Pitts can be worth basically giving up 2 first-round picks for, which I think that that's pretty fair. At number 5, the Bengals go Jamar Chase. I think this is a bit of an oversight. As much as Jamar Chase is an amazing player, the Bengals didn't really have as many problems in their receiving game as they did in their line. So, I mean, again, this is a 3-round mock. So, if I'm going to be honest, in the mocks that I did for the Cincinnati Bengals for the website I write for, I actually had a lot more success going Kyle Pitts in the first. Obviously, not Jamar Chase. I went Kyle Pitts in the first, and then I built after that. So, getting receiver in the first might be the wrong move, but we'll see how it develops because linemen do fall, and there's some really good ones that you can get round 2. But I still think you get Penny Sewell here. And even if you want to go Rashad Slater, I'd be perfectly fine with that, given the fact that at least you're addressing the line position. That's the only thing I can say. At least you're addressing the line position. If they think he's the best option, nice. Do it. 6, Dolphins going Devontae Smith. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He played at 160 during the season, and that's not going to last in the NFL. And the best ability is availability. He's going to be dropping on the top 10, if not top 15. Do not be surprised when you don't hear his name called way too early on day 1. Again, there's Penei Sewell there. You have to go that route. There's zero doubt in my mind. One of these 3 guys is going to be here. You take that guy. You don't take Devontae Smith. I don't care. It doesn't give you superstar X factor if you guys rock a Heisman Trophy. Desmond Howard was not the best wide receiver in the NFL, even though he won the Heisman Trophy. So I love Devontae. Still have him as like a top 15 player in the class, given that's factoring in his weight. So he's excellent, but not the right fit for the Dolphins. And number 7, you got the WFT going Justin Fields. I honestly, Detroit needs as many picks as possible, so we'll see how they do. But Washington going up for Justin Fields, that'd be an excellent move. I think that would be the best move they could do, although I don't think the Broncos would let Washington try to jump up that far. But Washington, if they do that, I'd be 100% in support of it because, I mean, you see Fitzmagic have a slinging cannon, but that's going to be an excellent mentor to Justin Fields. You have Kyle Allen, not Brandon Allen, like I said the other day, Kyle Allen there to kind of be the more secure type of guy that can go through progressions for Justin Fields. You have Taylor Heineke, who can use mobility really well. You have a pretty good set of mentors there, along with Ron Rivera. Big fan of that. Panthers going Sewell, that would be, I mean, just pop the champagne. That's amazing. Eagles going JC Horn. They're trading up. So I mean they're sending what, a first and then a fourth and a next year third over. And I mean, I don't know if they'd trade back to trade back up, but they do have enough picks to where they could do that next year. JC Horn is definitely worth a really high pick. And if they think that he's the best corner, which I wouldn't blame them, I'd be fine with that. The Eagles gained another first round pick. So if you lose a fourth and a third, next year third, that's the equivalent of losing about a third or maybe a late second in this year's draft. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that exchange right there. And you still get one of the best guys on the board. Cowboys getting Surtain. I mean, it's a good fit. I just hope he can play at a faster speed. And I'm not going to be talking too loud just because it's a lot later. We have people who live here and don't want to get in trouble from the RAs. That's another reason why I'm looking for an apartment. Giants going Jaylen Waddle. I think this is a little bit of an oversight. He's an excellent player, but you got big ass hole guard and Rashawn Slater's there. You got to be rocking that or AVT, whichever one they find is a better fit. That line needs to be the biggest thing. So, yeah, this was made a day ago, by the way, so this is up to date. Broncos going Najee. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. I guess they wanted to go. Yeah, they talked about how it's weird, so at least they mentioned that. But yeah, I don't like this at all. Just putting it blatantly, you can go Michael Parsons at 12, and that would be a great pick. So I don't really get this one too much at all, especially given the fact that he has no tread on his tires and his team's not ready for a Super Bowl without a quarterback. Number 13, the Chargers going Rashad Slater. I mean, I think that if they think he's a real tackle, absolutely. You take this 10 out of 10 times. He's a really damn good talent. So I like it. Next at 14, the Vikings go Greg Newsome. This is 100% a realistic thing right here. So I think that with the potential loss, I think not even the potential loss, I'm pretty sure he's being locked up 2 to 8 years for a third degree assault. But I think Jeff Gladney is the guy who is on his way out. So that really hurts. Oh, there you go. Jeff Gladney right there. I should probably just read, right? But yeah, Jeff Gladney definitely not going to be there anymore. You definitely need to fill that in. You spent a first round pick last year. You got to do it again this year because you're in a division where either you're going to be picking off a lot of dudes or else you're going to be getting picked apart. And either way, you need a good secondary for that. Next at 15, the Patriots go Mac Jones. I don't see it. I really don't see it. I don't like Mac Jones too much, and I just don't like it. They brought back Cam Newton instead of bringing a guy like Andy Dalton or somebody like that, who could have been very similar to what Mac Jones can bring to the table. So I think they wanted to be seeing, oh, can we do this mobile scheme? I think we're going to see either the Patriots move up or not go quarterback at all. We'll see what happens. We can see them going Kellen Mond. I would absolutely love them going Kellen Mond round 3. If they do it round 2, they better move back. But obviously there's NFL hype around those guys. Next, we got the Cardinals going Gregory Rousseau. Obviously, after that combine, don't think he's going to be going there. And obviously, they have it separated into different things. So we're going to kick it up a little bit. Raiders going Michael Parsons. That'd be a dream. Wouldn't that be amazing? And the Dolphins going Aziz. Don't like him. Not don't like him, just don't like the fit. It's a 4-3, and you're putting Aziz Ojolari. And if you're going to be wanting to do it in that 3-4-4-3 hybrid scheme, you're pretty much saying Van Ginkel can kind of kick it to the curb. So I'm not a big fan of that. You need to get a nice guy like a Quay Pay there who can replace a guy like Emmanuel Ogbah. You can also talk about the fact they lost Shaq Lawson there. So, I mean, I'm a fan of Aziz. I think he's really good, but I think you just need to chill a little bit. At 19, Detroit gets Rashad Bateman. If you trade back and get Rashad and you get all those picks, I would be perfectly fine with that. He's an excellent player. Honestly, wouldn't mind it too much at all. The Bears going Christian Darrisaw, that'd be a great pick. Honestly, he's not going to fall that far, but if that happens, ooh, that'd be nice. Then that leaves the Colts going with Samuel Cosmi out of Texas. I'm having a hard time speaking, but that's another excellent pick. Very high floor, very consistent player out of Texas. I'm a big fan of him. Not really his potential. I don't think there's too much there, but I think overall he's going to be a very solid, consistent tackle for them, and that's exactly what they need. Titans going Tevin Jenkins. Perfectly fine with this pick. Perfectly fine with it. They missed on a first round at right tackle last year. They need to get another one this year badly because Derrick Henry is going to be perfect behind Tevin Jenkins. 23, the Jets going JOK. Perfectly fine with this as well. You can use him in the slot, but you can also use him at linebacker. Again, they told the world that their need was linebacker because obviously they went out and got Jared Davis. So Getting JOK would be a pretty damn good option there. He can also play safety if you want him to. Steelers gain Javonte Williams. I don't really think that the Steelers should go Javonte, just because I don't think that he fits what the Steelers are trying to go for, which is like we don't have anything else. So it's not like we are going to have a rotation of running backs. I've never seen Javonte Williams in like a true RB1 situation. He's always been RBBC, and I think he'll be amazing in that role in the NFL. But I would honestly rather go ETN, who's been more used to being that main back. So I think obviously Najee Harris, if he were here, would be the better solution because he is more of a bell cow back. But I would never complain about Javonte. I just question the fact that he doesn't really fit the scheme in my eyes. Next, Jacksonville going Trevon Merrick, perfectly fine with that. Browns getting Kwity Paye. They're thinking about bringing in Jadeveon Clowney, but I would love Kwity Paye on this team. Absolute monster. Ravens going away. I could really see this happening as well. He's going to be an absolute freak. Saints going Jamin Davis. That'd be great. That's a really good replacement for Quan Alexander. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Big fan of that. Also, going to be able to replace Demario Davis as well. So Davis replacing Davis, 4.37 speed, unrealistic. He's just insane. He's a really good linebacker. 29 Green Bay Packers against Kadarius Toney. Don't think he's the best target on the board. I still think you can go after a high end corner at this spot, or else you can go after another linebacker. There still is Zayvon Collins on the board. There's also a plethora of other options you can go for if you really want to say, hey, let's build our run defense. You go Zayvon, or else you go Christian Barmore. So you just choose whatever the hell you want. You're going to do that. Green Bay Packers. Don't think you need to go wide receiver round 1 when there's so much depth. 30 Bills going Travis Etienne. I don't think you need basically a slightly upgrade. Well, not slightly, like a 2-notch upgrade over your running backs. It just kind of voids the value of your other running backs. So I don't think that's the right move personally. I think that they can get a Christian Barmore there. You guys have been convincing me on that Barmore train, or else they can get another edge player. 31, the Chiefs go Leatherwood. I don't like that. He struggled with a stable pocket, let alone a moving pocket. I just don't think people will like him at all. He was easily the worst lineman on Alabama. I'm not a fan of him at all. Obviously, Deontay Brown could be worse, but the Buccaneers going Jalen Phillips, excellent depth, potentially the successor to JPP, and that's extra depth. So I think I already said that, but he's going to be you're just pretty much picking the potential best player available who could end up leaving thanks to concussion concerns, and people do play that down quite a bit, which I don't like at all. 33 Jaguars getting Barmore. Don't think you really need to. I think that there's better routes to go, but I don't think that's out of the question. I would probably rather go a tackle here if we're going to be honest. Jets going Farley, that would be a dream. Obviously, I think that even the Jaguars could go Farley if they want him as depth. That'd be absolutely a dream. He definitely could be a good starter for this team for many years, has the best talent out of any corner in the class. Just again, I think that people aren't considering this too much with Devontae Smith, which is a little bit concerning. Is ability is, the best ability is availability. And Farley's already shown that he doesn't really have it. Devontae Smith will show it. That's why I'm just like, hold your horses, guys. Falcons going Richie Grant. That's a perfect replacement for Devontae Casey. Pretty huge fan of that pick. Obviously they have other needs that they can go after, but the Falcons, I think they did a good job there. Dolphins going with AVT. Again, I just don't understand why people want AVT. I really don't get it. The one position they have secured is guard. So if you want to play him at center, then be my guest. But I think that it's a little bit of an oversight. But AVT is an excellent player. I can't deny it, but I do have inside information that teams are really high on AVT. So he probably will be going in the top 15 picks. Just saying. Eagles going Terrace Marshall. Okay, I wouldn't hate it at all. I just hope that they can use him down the field because I don't like him anywhere else but being pretty much pressed down the field or with a ball in his hands where he's electric. Bengals going Wyatt Davis, perfectly fine with that. Obviously, I think that you need to bolster that interior offensive line, and the only reason I would take Wyatt Davis in the second is because I can tell what he could be. Right now, if you want to have like a day one impact, he's worth a 4th-round pick. I think that he has major flaws. So I'd rather take a Josh Myers at this pick if you want a day one impact, but Wyatt Davis could develop into one of the better guards in the NFL. Carolina Panthers getting Ifeatu Melifonwu. I think that with the other guys on the board, maybe like an ASJ would be better, but they could definitely still get some depth because they got AJ Boye, I think, for 1 year. So it's still not solved. but they definitely could go after another linebacker here, like a Zaven Collins, and just say fuck it. But honestly, I can't complain too much. Carolina doesn't have too many needs. You could also go interior offensive line, but the Broncos go Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. That'd be a dream, right? You guys go Najee Harris and you miss out on Michael Parsons, but you still get a really damn good talent in Zaven Collins. Round 2 picks 41 to 48. I don't know why I had to announce that. Detroit goes Holland. Don't know if that's the right pick right there. There's a lot more issues than that. I mean, if you want to use him as a slot corner, cool beans. Otherwise, I don't really think that you need to go safety with the second pick. Probably go offensive line with how many good ones are on the board. Giants going Osai, perfectly fine with it. He usually falls to the third for me, but I'm a big fan of Osai, so I don't really care. Niners going Creed Humphrey. You better not put him as a center. If he's a guard, that'd be great because they literally just brought in another center. They have 2 really solid centers on roster. So I believe that's Alex Mack as well as Weston Richburg. So if you're able to use him as a guard, that would be much better with like Laken Tomlinson, or else you can replace Laken Tomlinson with Creed Humphrey, and I'd be perfectly fine with that fit. But I still think there's some better guys on the board. Dallas Cowboys going Levi Onwuzurike. Perfectly fine with that. He's a beast. I just think that I'm a little bit lower on him just because he hasn't played in a while. We'll see the same thing with somebody later who I've changed my opinion on. Jacksonville Jaguars going Pat Freiermuth out of Penn State. You know me, I like it. It's just normal. Patriots going Kelvin Joseph. I wonder who mocked to the Patriots in the second round. Kelvin Joseph. Oh, me. So I like it. Chargers going Eric Stokes. I'd be fine with it. I just don't know. I mean, you guys are running the Rams 4-3, and you need more heavy man corners. Don't think that Eric Stokes is the right option. I think Tyson Campbell will be an excellent choice for the Chargers to be your Jalen Ramsey. But next, ASJ. I'm fine with it. You definitely don't want Damon Arnett to be your cornerback 1 going into next year. So, I mean, I'd be a huge fan of that pick. Next, Cardinals, Tyson Campbell. Excellent pick. Excellent pick. I'd be a pretty big fan of it if it were Eric Stokes even. I just think that if you get any of these Georgia corners, you're going to be perfectly fine. I'm not hating on this Chargers pick, but I just think Tyson Campbell has that Jalen Ramsey factor. That could be a big, big plus. And plus, I know that he is looked at higher in the NFL than Eric Stokes is. Next, we got Landon Dickerson to the Dolphins, and ooh, you know me, I love that pick. I love it. Detroit Lions going Jabril Cox. You get some constancy there. For once, you get to relax and be able to be like, okay, we at least have somebody who we know is going to produce at a pretty high level. So I like Jabril Cox. That could just mean he actually might not be that good in the NFL because producing in college doesn't always translate. You have to have some more ceiling, and Jabril Cox is a bit older, so his ceiling's not exactly there, but he could definitely be a really good asset to this team. The Bears getting Amon-Ra, not going to happen after what happened. No, that's a weird tongue twister. It's not going to happen after his numbers at the Pro Day, but he's still an excellent dynamic weapon. Excuse me for a second. And I think that there's much better options on the board, but he's obviously still a pretty talented wide receiver. My guy Mason has him as his number 15 player in the draft. Don't know how those things have changed recently, but still a really talented player. Cannot disrespect him. Tennessee Titans going De'Ami Brown. You got to get a weapon, but I still think that you can go with a guy who I think would fit perfectly with AJ Brown, and that is Elijah Moore. So definitely do that. I think I've been tilted this entire time, so apologies for that. Steelers going Dylan Radunes. I also skipped the Colts game Boogie, which I'm perfectly fine with. I still would probably want to go another corner, but a lot of corners already went, so I wouldn't blame them. We got to see round 3 for that. Steelers going Radunes, perfectly fine with that. Love it. Seahawks. Excuse me, Eichenberg. I have Eichenberg as a top 25 player. I think he'd be an excellent addition day 1. Rams game Baron Browning. People think he's amazing. So, excuse me, that's going to be excellent. Ravens going Rondale Moore. Ooh, I mean, I don't think they need another gadget player, but I mean, might as well just put him at running back. Browns going Elijah Moore. Don't think you need to put him in the slot, but he is too good to pass up. Saints going Liam McNeil. Think that could be Milton Williams if you're going to go interior defensive line. Bills going Ronnie Perkins. Don't think he fits a 4-3, but continue bolstering that defense. Packers going Aaron Robinson. You got to get some help there. And then J. Tuafele and Davion Nixon, both needs for these teams that they fulfilled pretty quickly. Continuing to be rolling quickly because we are running a little bit low on time here. We got the Jaguars getting Michael Carter. I like that pick a lot. You can save James Robinson by being able to have Michael Carter take carries off of him. He's going to be really good in the pass game. I'm a big fan of that pick, actually. It's a very underrated pick. Jets getting Kenny Gainwell. I think that's a pretty solid pick. I see the talent. I just don't see the consistency. And I don't see the balance at all. It concerns me a lot, but with the ball in his hands as a receiver, he's quite lethal. I like him a lot. Houston Texans getting Elijah Molden. I mean, he's an excellent player. I have him at worth a round 1 pick. I love Elijah Molden. Big fan. Falcons getting their Keanu Neal replacement and Hamza Nasir-Al-Din. Don't think you need to do it at this high because he didn't test in like the freaky 4.3s, but he is an absolute beast, and I love his potential. He is 6'4". He's a beast. Bengals going Jaylen Mayfield. How the hell did he fall? How did he fall? You can still use him at guard. His arms are too short, so I'm worried that you would use him at guard. But luckily, you have Riley Reef there for at least a year, so you can at least have a buffer to where Jaylen Mayfield can either learn or else he can start at another guard position. I'd be a pretty big fan of that. Eagles getting Josh Myers. You know me. I think that it's time to get a contingency plan at center, and Josh Myers would be an excellent fit. Broncos, Nick Bolton. I normally do that in round 2. And they also got Zaven Collins. So they have a fully revamped linebacking core that has both coverage ability and speed. So pretty happy with that one. Detroit Lions, actually not really speed. I would take speed out of that equation, but good enough to where they can stop the run and the pass game. Detroit Lions, Robert Rochelle. Don't think he runs that man scheme very well. I'm going to be honest. I think he's built more for his zone squad, but he can definitely he can work. He can work if you want him to. He's an excellent player. Panthers going Jamar Johnson. I don't know if you guys need a single high, but if you do, be my guest. Washington, Brevin Jordan. You guys did just release Thaddeus Moss, so that's definitely a need. So thank you guys for letting me know about that as well. I kind of slipped past me in the news because I get a lot of tweets per day from Adam Schefter and a bunch of other guys. Don't worry, they don't message me. I'm not being a proud cock. I'm just saying, like, I get the notifications. Cowboys getting Peyton Turner. I think that fits perfectly. I like that a lot. Giants getting Trey Smith. Whew, there you go. They proved me wrong. This is why I like to see a 3-round mock, because you see a full development. 77 Chargers, Amari Rodgers. Good weapon in the short game. Don't know if that's going to be the best option because I think you need a bigger target. But because of course Mike Williams there for 1 year, but I honestly wouldn't complain whatsoever. Vikings getting Joe Tryon. That's the guy I was talking about. I have actually a mid to early second on Joe Tryon just from what I've seen. He's an absolute beast. I did a full report on him. You guys can check out all of that when you look at my Twitter and see when I post stuff. So keep your eyes out for that. Vegas Raiders, Spencer Brown. He's going to be going the second round. Bottom line, that's what's going to happen. He tested insanely well. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's still available in my mock draft in the 4th round, which is actually, no, I don't think he was. That seems a little bit of an oversight to me, but he scored 10 on the RAS, number 1 tackle athletically in the time that they've used RAS. So that's pretty insane. Vegas Raiders, Tylan Wallace. I mean, sure, why not? You lost. I'm bugging on the other guy's name. I think his name started with like Thailand as well. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. We don't have time for this. Dolphins getting Quinn Meinerz again. We're getting another guard. We got three interior offensive linemen. I don't know that. I guess Dolphins saying best player available, but really not vibing with how these Dolphins are rocking right now. Even though I love Quinn Meinerz, it's just I don't know why you have to get AVT Quinn Meinerz as well as Lennon Dickerson. Not a vibe. Washington football team, Caden Stearns. People are not going to like him that much. He was a little bit inconsistent. I think he might have had injury problems. He definitely fell down a lot of people's boards. And I don't think he's going to be that great as a single eye. So as the Bears rock with Tommy Togiai, you beef up that interior defensive line. The Bears have always been known for their defensive front. So if they believe Tommy Togiai is the option, he's a beast. Broncos, Patrick Jones. Don't know if that's the right option, but I wouldn't hate on it too much. Titans, Hunter Long. They definitely need to get a tight end, and they kind of missed out in the first rounds because they've completely unraveled this offseason. I apologize, Titan fans. Jets getting Andre Cisco. This is something they could take a shot on for sure, but I still think they haven't gotten a guard, if I'm not mistaken, and that's something you desperately need. So you still have guys on the board that could fit both center and guard. I'm thinking about like a Kendrick Green, as well as a Sedarius Hutcherson, who could be rising up people's draft boards. Deontay Smith would be an excellent choice here. Steelers getting Kerry Vincent. I don't know why they're getting a slot corner when they just signed a slot corner to 2 years. I know they had 2, Mike Hilton, and lost one, but don't think that's the route that they'd go. Rams getting Walker Little. That's perfect. I mean, he can sit for a year and develop under Whitworth, or he can actually start if you want him to. Big fan of that pick. Browns getting Moses. It just all depends on the medicals, man. Otherwise, that's a great pick. Vikings going Kellen Mond. I'd be a fan of it. I'd honestly be a fan of it. I don't think Kirk Cousins should have his job all nice and comfy. he should have some pressure on him. And Kellen Mond is a guy who has his highlight reel unbelievable. Browns going Bobby Brown. Don't like that pick. I still think there's like Milton Williams on the board. Really good talents. Green Bay getting Brady Christensen. I'm happy he's down this far, but I still think that's a little bit of an overvalue. But I mean, honestly, I think that Aaron Rodgers will be able to at least take what he can. So I'm not too against it. Buffalo Bills going Tommy Tremble. I think that he's an excellent weapon, and people think that he might be the best blocking tight end in the class, even though he has micro hands. So that's fine. I like that pick. They're in the tight end sweepstakes. Nico Collins at Kansas City. Don't think that's going to be the pick. Don't feel like that's a real fit right there. Buccaneers, Davis Mills. Love it. New England, Seth Williams. Honestly, kind of like it. That's a good fit. Chargers, Rashad Weaver. That's somebody who definitely is a good developmental edge and a rotational guy who can have a pretty damn big impact. My first round darling, Dwayne Eskridge to the Saints. Excellent pick. Dallas Cowboys, Hufanga. Don't know if you need more guys in that box, but you can definitely do it. And then Tennessee, Ellerson Smith. I'm a huge fan of Ellerson Smith. Just his potential. You just see him play. It's like, oof. Detroit Lions, Amir Smith-Marset. I've heard some very good things on Smith-Marset. I like him a lot. San Francisco 49ers getting David Moore. So now I'm questioning why the hell you got Creed Humphrey, but I like David Moore a lot as well. And Rams, James Wiggins. You do need to replace John Johnson. So James Wiggins could be the target. I don't know if he would be my target, but still pretty solid. Ravens, James Hudson. You do need to have a contingency plan, especially if one of your guys goes down too. Not to mention, of course, Orlando Brown wanting out. And then finally, Trask to the Saints. I love that pick. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.